Like I was saying, a little wet there. But like I was saying, you know, fans have been petitioning for it to happen, petitioning for Disney to make it happen, even if it's a Disney Movie Club exclusive. They want to see this final volume released. That's what they want to see. And like I was trying to say, in 1990, when DuckTales the movie came out, a lot of us fans assumed and pretty much felt that Rescue Rangers had to be next. And as I was saying before, as I was trying to say before my battery died, and as you can tell, I've changed locations here because I got to charge my battery. But as I was trying to say, in a 1990 edition of the Comic Scene magazine, there was an advertisement, or not an advertisement, but an article in there stating that Disney was planning to release a Rescue Rangers movie in 1991. That's right, Disney had already had plans to release, through its Disney Movie Tunes division, its second film based on a Disney Afternoon property, and in this case it would have been Rescue Rangers. Unfortunately, what happened was the movie did not get released. It was somewhat in pre-production or production phase or something like that, to the point that it could be talked about as if it was being ready and being finalized for release and all that. But unfortunately, due to the box office failure, if you will, of DuckTales the movie, and critical smashing of it, if you will, the Rescue Ranger film did not happen. It got basically put back in the vault, or put in the vault, never to see the light of day. So yeah, we did have a Rescue Ranger movie we almost had a Rescue Ranger movie become a reality if it wasn't for Disney if it wasn't for Disney pulling the plug due to the box office failure of DuckTales the movie and the critical hammering, if you will, of the DuckTales movie as well. But still, if I was Disney, I would have still went and done it. I would have said, look, this is that's just one movie. Maybe they won't say anything if we do this one, and let's see how they feel about that. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. But we were this close, if you will, to having a Rescue Ranger movie. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it was going to answer a lot of questions. I really did. I think it was going to answer, who is Gadget going to end up with finally? Like, who is she going to choose? And stuff like that. So I really think we would have had something along that lines. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but I think we would have been close to it. But the best we got right now, as far as I'm concerned, is the movie pilot to The Rescue, as well as we got the Boom Studio Comics. The Boom Studio Comics, pretty much to me, when you combine at least one of them together, if not both, you sort of have your sequel you sort of have the movie you've been wanting. I mean, all you have to do is just hope that maybe Disney will animate those for these two arcs, if you will, into maybe feature films or something like that in the future for direct-to-video, direct-to-television or something. Because it would be unique. It would be nice to see that become a reality in itself. But we'll never know. We'll never really ever know if that will become a reality or not. But again, though, it just shows you the impact the show has had, and the impact that the show has had to the point that we were this close to having a movie. But you want to know the biggest impact, though? Even years after the whole Disney Afternoon deal at Disneyland and Disney World had come and gone, even years after the Gadget character, who I still think the Gadget, the Gadget costume character that walks around the park, I still think they have that costume around. They just have to bring it out for maybe the Long Lost Friends Day or something like that. But even after that was put back into storage, what's funny is the Gadget Go coaster is still about. Now, I've never been on it myself, but I saw it in person in Toontown last year, so it's still around. And if they're willing to still keep that ride based on a franchise and a show that is still part of the company, but hasn't really seen any action except for recently in the past 2 years with Boom Studios and the comic release of the new adventures in the comic books. You would think they would have taken that down, but they didn't. And you know why? Because people still like it. It's a go coaster, not just for younger kids, but it's a go coaster for all ages. And it's because Gadget has a huge legacy. Not legacy, but Gadget herself has become. Gadget herself in 25 years had become very popular among the fan base. I mean, you want a good example? You want a really good example? Try this. The Disney Afternoon had a, I guess you could say, 20th, 23rd, some kind of anniversary panel. The Disney Afternoon had an anniversary panel at the Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con this past year, or this past summer, about a couple months ago. And the people that worked on the show, whether it was the voice actors, or the writers, or the producers, anybody that worked on the Disney Afternoon block, as soon as Gadget's name was brought up, that place at San Diego Comic-Con erupted. She basically got the mentioning of her name, of Gadget's name, got the biggest pop out of that entire panel. Throughout that entire panel, she got the biggest pop. So it kind of tells you the impact that not only has the show had, because it got a big pop too. In fact, it got the second biggest pop of that panel, but it shows you the impact that her character has had. So overall, being a fan, reflecting back on these past 25 years, all I could say is if you think this show hasn't made an impact on Disney itself and on the Disney fan base, you gotta be kidding yourself. Because I can tell you this, I was one of those fans that when I went to Disneyland last year, I was hoping and praying to God that they were gonna bring out the Gadget, they were gonna bring out some kind of girl, some kind of female or whatever. They were gonna bring out somebody dressed in the Gadget costume. I was hoping for that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's been hoping for that anytime they go to Disneyland or Disney World. So, but again, like I said, if you think you think the show and these characters haven't made an impact on Disney, and if not on pop culture itself, then you definitely have to be kidding yourself. Okay? You got to be kidding yourself, because this show and these characters have indeed made an impact on pop culture in the past 25 years. I mean, take a look at the fact that they had a pop group, one of the top 80s pop groups, doing the theme song, a pop version of the theme song. I mean, what more? I mean, you have various websites dedicated to these guys. They have a popular Acorn Cafe. You have the Foxglove feature. You have ChippendaleOnline.com. Heck, you even have, and I have it. It's under my futon. I gotta open up my futon to grab it out. But you even have the ever popular multimedia, critically praised webcomic of Mice and Mayhem. That's right, of Mice and Mayhem, which was made 10 plus years ago, a little over 10 years ago, was and still is critically praised and proclaimed as one of the best webcomics based on anything, original or not, that has ever been done. And believe me, take my word for it when I say I do agree on that, wholeheartedly. So, but again, if that doesn't show you as well the impact the show and these characters have had on pop culture and on the fans, I don't know what will. So, that's just my take on the whole, and that's all I'm going to say. Basically, looking back on the 25 years of Rescue Rangers, of Chippendale Rescue Rangers is to another 25. And hey, maybe, between now and then, we may finally get a new show. Maybe we'll get another revival in the comics. Maybe we'll get a movie. Just have to wait and see. So, till then, sorry this was in 4 parts. I'll provide a link to the playlist. Take your time in watching. And that's all I'm going to say. God bless. Take care. I'm going to lie down now and rest. It's been a long day and night. God bless. Comments are welcome too.